What's up, everybody? This is Reverend Guns, and today we are going to be taking apart and cleaning a Ruger 22 Charger. Now, basically, this is a pistol version of the Ruger 2010, and so really it's more compact, and it came with a couple accessories with it. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is check to make sure that it is unloaded. So right here is a little lever. You push that forward and this will just slide right out. This is the magazine. We don't want this anywhere near our cleaning stuff, so we're going to set that far away from us. Second thing we want to do is pull back the charging handle, which is the bolt, and we are looking inside at the hole there to make sure nothing is loaded in the chamber. Alright, we're gonna pull the trigger and decock that. Now, first thing we want to do is we're gonna have to take it apart fully before we can start cleaning it. On this particular pistol, I'm gonna move it like that. We need, this is an Allen. Sometimes it's a slotted screw, but on this one it's an Allen, and it is a 5/32 Allen. So we're going to unscrew this. Okay, it seems like it's loose, but now you need to grab it, pull up, and keep unscrewing, and that'll allow you to take the screw completely out. Okay, so we got one screw. Alright, now this is the safety mechanism here. We need this as close to the center as you can get, because it's going to try and catch on the side of the stock here when you're lifting it up. It's not designed to sit in the middle, so you gotta kind of just barely keep it there. Now I'm going to grab down here towards the barrel and just kind of hold it, and from the bipod I'm going to lift up, and that is how you take the stock off. We're going to set that aside because you really don't do much of a cleaning on that except for kind of a wipe down. Alright, next thing. We're going to turn this on the side so the charging handle is down. There, whoop, that one's already starting to slide out. There's 3 pins right here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? See them there? They might try to fall out on you. If not, I'm going to use the same Allen to just push them through, because we want those to come out. So you got big pin, smaller pin, and this is the same size pin coming out as well. And as you saw, it just flew off, so it's not much to take the trigger mechanism off. Okay, then we got to take out the bolt. So we're now looking at the inside. This is the bolt here. We want to pull the charging handle back all the way. Hold it. You want to get your finger in here and kind of wiggle it up until it comes out. It's probably going to pop out like that. It's a little stiff. So I don't know when the last time this was cleaned, but we're going to make sure it's all functional today. Notice I'm still holding the charging handle. We are now going to angle that outward just like that and slide it on out. We have now successfully completely stripped the pistol for cleaning. Now I'm going to take my gun oil or cleaner, and we are going to spray all this stuff. trigger mechanism I'm not going to spray. Okay. Only thing that would need to be cleaned on here would be the, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. Do the hammer. Okay, we can spray charging handle. I'll go ahead and clean the pins and screw too. And while that's soaking, I will explain what I've got sitting here. Got a soft bristle brush. It's got a little brush in the end as well, getting the tight little crevices. I've got a harder bristle brush that I use to get the stubborn carbon off of there. You saw that I had to use a 5/32 Allen. I've got a 22 caliber barrel brush. I've got a slotted cleaning rod. This is for the patches. I've got gun oil. I've got a gun oil rag, which I only use for oil. I've got patches here. Q-tips sometimes come in handy. I have a little screwdriver here. This kind of comes in handy with other pistols. We're not using it today. And then I've got a couple rags sitting right here to wipe things off as we go. Alright, now that we've had a couple minutes for it to kind of soak in, we are going to start scrubbing. And I'm going to start with the little stuff and work our way to the top. So let's start with some of the screws. We'll just kind of brush everything off. I like to make sure I clean everything. No matter what the part is, give it a little brush down. Never hurts to clean every part you can get a hold of. Yeehaw! That went flying. Alright. Let's give that a wipe off. That should be good. Let's do this 2 smaller pins. Give that a wipe off. And set that aside. You'll want to make sure this thing's clean. This is going to be a little bit of a struggle when putting it back together. So we're going to clean it heavily. To make sure it doesn't bind or get stuck. This off. See how well it does. I just compressed it to get the rod directly. Because we want this clean and easy to move. Alright, wipe that off. Okay, move on to the trigger mechanism. Like I said, I'm only really going to do the hammer itself. Alright, you see this piece flopping around here? If that happens, see that? That's flopping around. There's a little slit right here that it sits in. So just push it forward and get it to sit in there. And that's where you need it to stay. So we'll just kind of brush off the hammer here. Give that a wipe down. We'll set that off to the side. Time for the bolt. I'm going to make sure this thing's real clean. That's the extractor right there, so we'll clean that real well. That's the firing pin there, or striker, what do you want to call it? Alright. Let's wipe this down. Get all the crevices. Make sure you remove any carbon, gunk, dirt, dust, anything that could be in here. Alright. Now we'll do the barrel. You have to get kind of a long rod for this because that barrel is still quite long. So you want to make sure you have a long enough brush to get through. And scrub it out. Take the brush off and throw the slotted cleaning rod on. Now normally I would put a patch on it, but it don't fit. 22's a little too small for that, so we're going to take single patches since this is such a tiny barrel, and we are going to twist it so it gets tight and easy to slip in the end of the barrel, and just kind of twist it in, twist it in. Once you got it in, take a cleaning rod and push it through. I want to push it all the way to the back. You're going to see it come out the back here, just like that. Take that, take a look. That's all the crud we had in there. I don't know if you can see that. but there's still some left in there, so we're going to do that a couple more times probably, just to get that to clean out anything that's left in there. No residue, no residue. Twist, twist, twist. Get it going. There we go. Got it in there. Now we'll take slotted rod and push it on through. Pull it out. That's not too bad. We'll do that one more time for good measure. Grab it. Twist. 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 And we'll twist. Keep twisting until you get it in there. All right, I'll take our cleaning rod, start poking it through. Shove it out the back side again. This actually looks pretty good. We'll never get to see this completely white, but it will be a very light gray. So that's how we know the barrel is clean. Now we can go through and scrub down anything else you'd like. Turn this around, I'm right-handed. And just kind of break loose anything you see in here. Get around the ejection port, charging handle area. And really you can just kind of do a quick scrub on anything you might want to clean. This is why I don't use the brass or metal brushes, because I don't like it scratching up anything that I could possibly be brushing off. I don't want to damage the bluing or the metal or anything that could be damaged from such a hard brush. I don't like using. This is just an agitator, and it does the job. Alright, looking pretty good there. I think we'll do a wipe down. Get the inside of there real well. Get the outside. Get the barrel all nice and shiny. Get the end of the muzzle there. Alright. That's it for cleaning. Alright, time for the fun part. Want to put this back together. Let's see here. We're going to do the bolt first. So, you got to get your charging hand, or let's lube everything. We need to lube everything. Lube is good. Lube is great. That means two things. So, I'm going to get some oil, and I'm going to oil basically the sides of the bolt here and the top on the sides of the firing pin, which is that center metal piece there. You don't want stuff to build up and get dirty in there. So we're just going to do the sides. And you know what, we'll even do the bottom. You also want to do the charging handle. I would recommend pushing it all the way down and lubing the rod. That way when you release this, it'll get a nice little coat on there. Hear that? Nice little slide. Okay, and I'm not going to lube any of the pins. Those try to fall out on their own, and there's nothing on the trigger mechanism itself that I want to lube. We'll leave that alone. So let's get this put back together. I'm going to do the charging handle first. I'm having this face barrel away from me because I'm going to need leverage. This spring is rather tight for a 22. It's a little unreal. So stick it in the charging port here. Okay, stick it in, and if you see right down in here, there's a raised bevel that's not flush. We're going to stick it right on the end of that and compress it. So the end of it, you want to start compressing. Push it in and compress it as far as you can. Okay? All the way back into its lock position. This takes some effort, so be ready to hold it. Okay? You see how I'm holding it here. Holding it with my fingers. Got my thumb back behind. Okay? Here's the bolt. One side's got 2 deep grooves in it. That side should be facing up and towards the barrel. So you want to make sure this slides in as flat as possible. So level, 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 and get this to, yep, so it ain't going straight, so it's not wanting to seat. If that happens, just turn it over, flip it out. Don't let go. Don't let go of your charging handle. Okay, we're going to try this again. Flip it over. It's got to fit in between this little notch in the back. That's why we want to keep it flat, because at an angle it's not going to want to. Let's try this again. There we go. Got it. So when you release carefully the charging handle, this should whole thing slide forward. See that? So now you know you've got it in place. All right, I'm going to turn it sideways again. Damn thing came loose again. So yeah, see this little piece, this little floppy piece? That it gets kind of irritating. So like I said, you want to make sure it slides over, gets in that little groove. And we are going to slide it in to line up the pinholes here. Those are the 2 pins that hold the trigger mechanism in place. Take the 2 smaller ones and slide it into place. There we go, there's one. Alright, there's 2. And this one's for the bolt. You want to make sure you put that in as well. I've got my hand sitting behind here so it holds these in place because they're kind of loose and want to come out. Alright, now that we got the pins in for the trigger mechanism, we're going to put the stock back on. And you want to move that safety back into the center if it got bumped or moved. Kind of want to get that to sit there. We're going to take our stock And we're kind of going to go back first and then forward, just how I took it off. So we're going to carefully slide this in the back, and it's kind of a rocking motion to kind of get it to seat. And then once you get it forward enough, almost had it. There we go. So now we're completely seated in. We'll grab the screw, screw that in. Remember, it's going to step and then keep going until you can't do it no more. Grab your 5/32 Allen and screw it in. And this doesn't need to be tight, just snug. That's all you need. Right, let's check function. Everything's slid, locked. Let's check trigger. And fired. Sounds like we're in a good deal. Alright, let's give this one more wipe down. Just so the rest of it's clean. You can clean the stock however you want, but I don't want to mess up anything on here. And that's really not where all the carbon goes when you're wiping this down, or when you're shooting it. So we'll just kind of do a nice little wipe down. Make sure you polish it up, make it look real nice. Nothing wrong with getting the mag well. Trigger, some of the handle, and there you have it. We just disassembled, cleaned, and put back together a Ruger 22 Charger, which is all. Thanks for watching. I also offer the online course to get your Texas license to carry a handgun. It's the 4-hour class broken down into segments and saves you progress so you can do it at your own pace. After completing the course, you will be able to print your certificate. Then, it'll help you locate an instructor close to you, no matter where you are in Texas, so you can complete the shooting portion of the course. This is all certified by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Check it out at reverendguns.com. If you have any questions or comments, please add them below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more firearms education.